Joining us on FT Live right now, it's Brendan Donovan of the St. Louis Cardinals. Brendan, great to have you on. And I heard that it was your birthday 2 days ago. So happy birthday. What did you do?
Hey guys, thanks for having me. Yeah, so I birthday a couple days ago. I was feeling a little old, so I shaved my face just to see if I still look. I look like I lost a couple years, but I share a birthday with Albert, so that's kind of tough.
Ooh. Albert who? Pujols?
Albert Pujols.
Albert quit. Albert quit. That's not.
We still got the Christmas tree up. We're only here for a couple months out of the year, so instead of getting down here and putting it up, we're just going to leave it up all year long.
Yes, I love that status. That is great. That is forward thinking. But Albert quit. Albert's not a baseball player anymore. Like, he's got like a 5-year hiatus where until he's Hall of Famer, then all of a sudden he's going to be, the Cardinals greatest, all that stuff. But right now, this is your birthday, and he doesn't even give us his real age. So let's be honest.
I can't comment on that.
Okay, fair.
Should you?
Fair.
He has listed age 44, Albert. And Brendan, how old did you turn?
I turned 27.
27, right? And now you look 22. So there you go. That was smart. The shaving worked, dude. You were like a prospect again, even though you've been in the bigs for a few years.
Yeah, they tell you when you're younger you can't show facial hair because then you're just mature. So I was like, if I shave, maybe I'll get a couple more years, right? Tell Mo.
We will. I like that.
I like
Kip,
that.
Yeah, Kip, you got the beard, but you sometimes were clean shaven, no?
No. I've had this beard since high school almost, it feels like.
You never had the clean shave look ever?
It would be stubble at minimum, never razor shave. I just don't like the way my face looked with shave. So the beard hides the second chin a little bit when it pops out, so we just cover some stuff up.
Brandon, you said you're 27. Did you mean you're 27 years old, or that's how many different gloves you have for all the different positions you're going to play? Can we lock you into one position, kid?
Please. It's an award for you.
Dude, I got a new elbow, so I think I can play all the positions now. But man, I used to have a different glove for every infield position, and then I got tired of lugging them around, so I just used the same one at third, short, and second. It's just Stevie from Rawlings. Thank you. You hooked me up, but I'm only using one.
You got it. That's the only one you need, the gold one, because no matter what, now you got that gold patch on there.
I do. I didn't use it last year. It wasn't a superstition thing, but I won it with that same glove, and I just didn't want to change it. But I think I'm thinking about using it this year.
Yeah, do it.
Do you see who liked the photo among others? Look at that. You see that on the screen?
Goldie?
Paul Goldschmidt. No, because Goldie's not on IG. I mean, you tell me. I mean, you get to play with some of the top superstars in our sport for years now, right? Like Goldie and Arenado. What's it like to play with those two?
Yeah, so early on when I was first spring training, I didn't get to go to big league camp until I was on the roster. That was in 22. We had a lockout, so kind of at Cressy, that's where we could go because everyone's locked out. And I'm training with these guys, and I'm kind of just, you got 2 eyes, 1 mouth, 2 ears, and 1 mouth. So I'm just sitting there and I'm just trying to observe, take in as much as I can. And then you get to know them as people. Obviously, they're amazing players, but they're better people. So to be around them, to see their attention to detail in their work, they've master, maybe not be a great word, but they've exemplified practice, right? What they do in practice is they make everything as crisp and as clean as possible, and it's why they can go out there and do the crazy things that they do is because they practice that on a daily basis. And it taught me as a young kid early on just the importance of your routine and all the things that you can control. So when you go out there and play, you just go play.
Who's going to crack the best joke first, Goldie or Arenado?
Arenado. It's Goldie talks to me, but it's hard to get words out of him.
Oh yeah, he's quiet. Goldie.
Oh, yeah, no.
There's a few topics. Have you ever heard him then start to go though? Because there's a few topics that will light him up, but then obviously often you bring something up and he's kind of less is more. He can give you the answer you need in a sentence or two, but there are a few topics that can really get him going.
Yeah, I think it's golf. That's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
nutrition. I mean, we're all on the plane, just hanging out, and Goldie's in the corner reading a book on nutrition. That's why he looks the way that he does. But golf, I mean, he absolutely loves golf. You bring up golf, he will talk about golf for hours.
I want to backtrack and follow up on the Gold Glove comment that Kratz made. So, if I recall this correctly, and maybe you can help me on the fact checking. So, in 2022, you became the first utility player to win a Gold Glove. Is that true? And do you know what the backstory is to that? Like, was that kind of a newer thing to the Gold Glove situation?
Yeah, so it's a new thing. Halfway through the season, we had a charity event in St. Louis, and my booth at Topgolf was actually with the Rawlings team. So I'm sitting and talking to them and like, hey, we're thinking about doing a utility Gold Glove slot. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't know my name would be in the running for it. But I was like, yeah, I think that'd be really special for the league. And then come to find out at the end of the year, I was a finalist. And I think it's important for the game of baseball. I mean, I think that position is utility role, not position. The role is valuable for the club. And sometimes people are like, oh, I want to play one position, but now you're talking about having a Gold Glove for the utility slot. I think it's huge just for the game.
Okay, so I'm going to take you in a different direction here, and there's some fan questions that we'll get to in a second, but you are one of the top names that comes up in fan-related trade proposals, okay? So how much of a compliment do you take that as? Like, there'll be Yankee fans that are like, oh, we just do this little deal and we get Donovan or whatever. Like, the Cardinals aren't trading you. And if teams are asking about you, that's great. That's a compliment anyway. But when so many fan bases are like, yeah, we want Donovan, or yeah, we'll just include Donovan in the deal. How do you feel about being loved by fans beyond just the ones in St. Louis? Of course, they get to watch you every day.
Yeah, no, it's to be wanted. That's pretty cool. Man, I was a kid that I didn't know if I was going to be a big leaguer. So to be in the big leagues and now be wanted by other organizations is great. But the fact that I'm still a Cardinal means that they like me, and I want to play for the Cardinals for a long time, and I want to win with the Cardinals for a long time. So is it a good thing? Absolutely. I know it's easier said than done. You try to control what you can control. Obviously, this baseball is just crazy, but I can control my preparation, and that's kind of what we've been doing this offseason.
All right, so you talk about not sure if you're ever going to make the big leagues or not. South Alabama, okay? Now, I would have never heard of it had not one of my good friends gone there and made the big leagues. Do you know where you rank? Because we don't use WAR all the time, but we bring it up. Do you know where you rank in career WAR out of people who got drafted out of South Alabama University?
No, I have no idea.
Do you know 3 people that are ahead of you? Because there's 8 ahead of you.
I'm gonna guess Gonzo.
Yep.
David Freese. Juan Pierre. John Lieber.
Nice.
Man, there's another one I'm missing. Lance Johnson.
Lance Johnson's ahead of you?
Man, that's is Turner Ward on there?
Turner Ward, but he's below you. You got him.
Below. I got Turner.
So you got the active. You got the active right now, unless Freezy tries to come back. But
that's
my teammate was Adam Lind that we played together.
Man. That guy raked. Man, that's a good little group there.
Sneaky good group. South Alabama University has created some, or do you say the University of South Alabama? What do you say?
I say South, or you can even go as far as saying USA. University of South Alabama is a lot of words, so anyone that kind of knows the area, we just say, yeah, I went to South.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you missed Marlon Anderson and Adam Lind, but I mean Turner Ward, he's right nipping at your bud there, nipping at your heels. But I'm like, it is a sneaky university that creates some good baseball players. Is there anybody else that we should be looking out for?
Eddie Stanky. Do you remember? Obviously, you remember that name. In the movie 42, the one that stuck up for Jackie. So it's Eddie Stanky Field. He was the first He was the first coach at the University of South Alabama, so we call it Stanky Field.
See, look at this. We're learning. We're learning so much.
It's a rich little baseball community down there. I mean, that was probably the most fun I've had in my life. Baseball. We went to 2 regionals. Luckily, one of my good friends, Travis Swaggerty, was a first-round pick out of there, so he got me some exposure. So thank you, Travis.
That's cool. I like that. A little shout out. Yeah, I didn't know that about South Alabama. So, question for you on the Cardinals offseason. Your thoughts on adding 3 pitchers, and I'm sure you know a little bit at least about their personalities too. Sonny Gray, who's pretty damn funny, Lance Lynn, who is a total spitfire, and Kyle Gibson, who's nice as hell and always kind of has cool ideas for the team. I think he was part of like the group that was playing chess or something like that with the Orioles. So you've got some good ones coming your way as humans. And then of course, you can kind of go through what happened to the Cardinals last season and how you think this is going to make a difference.
Yeah, so I love the additions. I mean, when you talk about people, I think it's important to have winning people first, and they're all winning people. And then 2, not to mention, right? I mean, Lance won a World Series with us. He knows the Cardinal way. He knows how to win. I ducked Sonny last year. I had an elbow surgery, so I can't imagine that's a fun at bat, but I ducked him. Kyle's coming off a big year in postseason baseball. So you're talking about adding 3 guys that know how to win. You know what you're going to get every 5th day. I'm very excited about those additions. And Mo came out and said we're going after 3 starting pitchers, and he got them. And it's very, very impressive that we got these 3 guys, especially early on in the offseason, so you can kind of add a couple pieces since.
So take me back last season through what you think was the number one reason why the team didn't perform like they had been for years before that, right? Like 22 even for you. I know you're, kind of early in your big league career, but you've seen winning ways in St. Louis.
Yeah, I just think that we didn't do a lot of the little things right. And I want to say little things, everyone's like little things, they're little, right? But they make such a big difference. Whether it's, we weren't great on the bases, we didn't play great defense. When we pitched, we didn't hit, and when we hit, we didn't pitch. It just nothing seemed to click together. So this offseason, we've had some good talks about what's the identity of this club, like what have the Cardinals been known for, what's made them so successful, what are our standards, expectations, and what are the core values that we hold, and how can we reestablish them and also set it up for success. Obviously, we lost a lot of leadership over the last couple of years, Albert, Yachty, and Waino. So you're talking about losing 3 people that have been a part of that organization for such a long time. It's like now we need some guys to step up, and we need to show that this organization is still going in the right direction. And I absolutely believe we can. I love the additions, and I love the pieces that we do have.
PD, how far along are you in your rehab right now?
I got 1 week left of throwing. I'm almost at 6 months. We got the surgery in August. I had it was a flexor pronator strain, but the reason why it strained is because I had a partial tear in my UCL.
That's fun.
Yeah, it wasn't. It's I kind of felt it. Definitely a wear and tear thing. There she is. But so I got the surgery in August. Keith Meister in Dallas did it. It's called an internal brace. Almost looks like a shoelace. I have that's kind of a gnarly picture, but I have all the internal gnarly pictures on my phone. I won't pull those out yet. But so you go in and like drill down and you wrap what looks like a shoelace around your UCL and cinch it back down to the bone. The only difference between the internal brace and full Tommy John is you need full TJ is a tendon graft. They pull it out of your forearm or your hamstring. Luckily, I didn't need that, so it cuts the recovery time in half. So progressing really well. I'm full go swinging. I try to get some lives, I believe, tomorrow. I'm hitting off the machine, hitting BP, doing all that fun stuff. Throwing wise, I'm at 165 feet and building, throwing in the mid 80s. So coming for you, Waino. It's been good. Learned a lot about my body. Obviously, surgeries suck, but I think it makes you pull back the cover a little bit and just figure out why did this happen and how can I prevent further injuries.
Well, let me ask you this, because few people are as athletic as you and I to play infield and outfield and all over the place. We're probably the only 2 on this live chat here that can do it. So
Stop it.
Did you notice, though, Do you change your arm slot at all going from outfield to infield? Do you think that might have had something to do with the injury, where you might drop down a little bit more in the infield than you do maybe over the top in the outfield, right?
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
when I'm playing second, I tend to get a little lower. I think those throws are shorter, quicker, and when you're turning double plays, obviously you're kind of just catching it and throwing wherever you get the feed from. And then as you start to move around the diamond to the left side of the infield, you tend to get a little more on top of the ball. And then from the outfield, I'm just trying to rip downhill and spin it. So I actually did it on the throw from the outfield. I kind of felt it. Initially, we thought it was the flexor, which it was. It was compensating for the UCL. But I think that it's absolutely a wear and tear thing. The change in the arm angles for sure probably had something to do with it. But I mean, my goal is when I come into spring training, nobody can really tell a difference. Got a great team around me. We've been messing with throwing from all different arm actions and all different distances and all different feel throws, and it honestly feels really good right now.
If you want nobody to tell the difference, you got to do what I do and just have a bad arm. That's
yeah. Is that why you went to second?
That's they couldn't put me. There's no position any closer to first base.
Hey man, just hit the cut from the outfield, right?
Yeah, that's the shortest throw they could find for me, so they moved me to second.
There you go.
What do you got, Kratzy?
Oh no, I was just going to say, is the Cardinal way still the right way? Because we have a lot of Cardinals on here, and the Cardinals have won forever. They have won forever. So was last year just a blip, and now the Cardinal way is the right way? Or was the Cardinal way because you had Yadier Molina and Wainwright and Pujols till 2010? Was it because of the players, or is the Cardinal way the right way and doesn't need to be updated?
No, I still think it's the right way. Obviously, when you have those three guys, it makes it a little easier. You're talking about generational talents, but playing good defense, running the bases right, pitching, clutch hitting, situational hitting, whatever it is. I mean, that's the Cardinal way, like doing the right thing. Obviously, they believe in keeping things in-house and the developing of players. I still believe that is a big key to why this organization was successful and will continue to be successful. That's my thought process. Curious to know what yours is. Let's hear it.
No, I don't have a thought process. I just know that the dudes that they create out of that organization are phenomenal, top-notch dudes. And if that's what the Cardinal way is, it's about how to be a good guy, and it creates winning, then I love it. But it's always something that always comes up. We want to see your booklet. Like, we want to see the Cardinal way booklet, because we haven't had anybody that's opened the booklet up for us to let us see it. So you still have it.
I don't have it. I'm sorry, but I had to read it in the minor leagues.
Well, I know well, Zach Allen was the one that told us it was like mandatory reading for him, and he kind of bucked that a little bit, but he kind of was a little pissed about it too. Fair, all fair. Of those guys, I'm going to take Pujols out because he wasn't there for recent future. Yeah, he finished his career there. Who was the biggest loss? I always ask this, pitchers and position players, and I'm pretty much. If you're on the same page, and we'll see, but who was the biggest loss? Waino or Yachty?
Yeah. I mean, obviously I love both of them, but when you got someone only throwing every fifth day, now was he impact for a long time? Absolutely. But your catcher, I mean, he runs the show. I've heard a couple people say that when you came in to play St. Louis, you weren't just competing against the pitcher, you were also competing against the catcher. And just from seeing it firsthand, it felt like he was always a step ahead. Just his preparation and just his thought process and his intimidation too. Like, I was pretty intimidated. I was scared to talk to him. I mean, you had some people, they say they get in the box and they go down and they say, "Hey, Yachty, how you doing?" And he kind of just nods back at him. It's like, this is not someone you mess with. I think his ability to just control the game was unlike any other.
His neck tattoo intimidated a lot of people. Let's be honest. His neck tattoo. You can't mess with people with neck tattoos.
No. That's an accurate statement. I think I was definitely one of those guys that I was like, "What's going on, Yachty?" And he just stared at you, and I was like, "All right." And then you 100% are competing against the pitcher and him, because not only the master class that he's putting on back there of stealing strikes for the pitcher, but the game itself that he calls and holding the runners. you could be in the best mood, and after one at bat, you're already pissed at Yachty and the umpire for giving him the call, and it's just you're like, how am I competing against this guy? I'm not even thinking about the pitcher now, and you're just out of your element, and that's how impactful Yachty can be in a game.
Those two together, like, pretty intimidating. Bueno and Yachty on their day was pretty special. Obviously, they did it for a long time, but extremely, extremely intimidating, those two together.
All right, so I got a few fan questions. I actually have a million. I'm going to try and combine a couple of them just in the interest of time. So following up on last season, and I guess it's got some Cardinal way to it as well. I'll do two combined here to start. Jacob said, please ask what the hell happened to the Cardinal defense last season. Went from one of the top defensive teams to last in a season. And I'll add to that with Dr. Anarchy saying, for those, what did he say? Ask Brendan whether he prefers outs above average, UZR, or DRS for statistics. Yes, I'm a stat nerd, he said, on the defensive side. So I feel like those two can kind of be combined, but your thoughts?
So on the defensive side of things, obviously you have shift rules. It's pretty important. Like, if you can put three guys on one side of the infield, you're kind of set up for success. You know exactly where this guy's going to hit it. And now you can't go on the other side of the bag. And we did have guys that pitched to contact. I think it opened up a couple more holes. So it was up to us to kind of just set the model and the positioning a little better. I think that was a big part of it. You also had some guys that were playing new positions. I mean, it's a learning curve, right? The big leagues, it's all about, and for me, it's like, it's a daily struggle of like, all right, I haven't been here for a while. It's about making sure I have the reps to create the angles and the situational awareness to know what's supposed to happen. And then on the analytical side, I like defensive runs saved. So the outs above average, obviously, like, if you can produce more outs, you're going to have a lot of success. But I like the defensive runs saved. It's like, to me, that is a bit more impactful if you're saving more runs.
Nice. I like that. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Now I will take you to your background. So you have a very unique upbringing, and Dave S. knows about it and says, ask him if he ever visits Germany, where he was born.
No, that's one thing I'd love to. We were going to travel this offseason, and then I decided I want to be in full rehab with an elbow surgery. So that's on me. Apologize to my wife for that. But I haven't been back. I want to go back. It's one of the places that I want to see. My brother and I were both born there. I was born in Würzburg. My dad was stationed there at the time. Came over to the United States when we were very young, so I don't know much about it. I was a dual citizen until I turned 18, and then I fully declared a U.S. citizen. So it might be a little tougher, but I do want to go back.
Cool. Couple more, and I know Kratz has a question too, but Justin said, what do you think about LA's offseason? So, and I'll add to that. I mean, there's some fans that are like, oh, it's a lock, Dodgers are going to win the World Series. There's some fans that are pissed that the Dodgers are doing so much more than everyone else, and I would imagine you're going to say, yeah, that's why we play the games.
Yeah, it's a gauntlet of a season. I mean, you're talking about 162 games plus postseason. You need, obviously, they went out and got some huge pieces, but we opened there on I don't even, what's opening day? What day is it? End of March? I think it creeps up a little sooner in the spring training every year. So we opened there. I mean, I think it's cool. We get to go in, and I think it's important for us that our philosophy going into the season is we don't really care who we're playing. I think it's important for us to get back to our winning ways, and what better way than to come out and compete against the team that spent the most money this offseason.
Can you give us a little comment on a teammate of yours, kind of the development path of Jordan Walker last year? You kind of saw him come up big in spring training, kind of have the big name going in there, but sent back down a little bit and worked on some things, and then came back up and kind of contributed there a little bit. What was it like to watch that as a teammate perspective?
Yeah, first off, it's an awesome dude. He's more than willing to learn, to try new things. I actually saw him this morning. He's working in the outfield. He's working on a swing in the cage. He's making the right adjustments, and he's freakishly athletic. So the adjustments come a little quicker. He looks good, man. I'm excited for him moving in this offseason. The progress that he's made, and then going into 2024, he's down here in Florida with me. He's got working with our staff on a daily basis. And the last month, I've started to really see him like turn up the intensity a little bit. He's gonna be ready to have a big year.
All right, I got another now former teammate to ask you about via fan question here. Cliff said, "What's Tyler O'Neill like in the clubhouse?" So, how do you think he's going to fare? Obviously, playing with him the last couple of years with the Boston Red Sox now, getting kind of a fresh opportunity. I would imagine more playing time, and as you know, which fortunately for you, you're able to play all over the field for the Cardinals. If you're an outfielder with St. Louis the last couple of years, it's tough competition. There's a lot of dudes for 3 spots.
Yeah, so I really like T.O. One of my good friends. He was always very good to me, very welcoming when I came into the big leagues. I have no issues with him. I think he's great in the clubhouse. I will not be shocked if he's healthy, if he has a big year. When that guy's right, man, he's arguably one of the best players on the field. He impacts. He's got 2 Gold Gloves in left field. He can run. He's got a hose. He had the big year in 21, so I won't be shocked if he has a big year.
Do you know his bicep routine?
What's that?
You know his bicep routine?
It's just involves a lot of reps and a lot of different angles, and that guy's sculpted of marble. It's honestly amazing. Like, I look at him and I'm like, I'd rather just eat pizza.
That is 100% what my question was going to be. If you look like that, would you ever wear a shirt?
No, I mean, he rocks his crop top, so you can, like, if you have like the bottom of your abs, you're shredded. So he has this shirt that, like, when he leans back, you can see those bottom abs, and I'm like, yeah, you can wear that. You can get away with that. If I wear that, people are like, dude, put a shirt on.
Wait. He has a crop top? Like he wears this in public, or it's like his undershirt?
Undershirt. So, but he'll wear it around. So it's like it goes, I guess you'd say, like, if you're sitting down, it meets the shorts. But, like, if you stand up, like, it shows a little bit of bottom ab, which is
not happy.
Which is elite.
That's not for us, Kratz.
No. See, now this is all coming out here. Okay.
It's a thing.
People are talking about him being a bad teammate. Like, maybe this is why he's a bad teammate. He's showing everybody else up.
Yeah, it makes everyone else look bad with those bottom abs, which are, I will say, the toughest things probably to be able to pull off from a sculpting perspective.
This is why we don't like Scott.
It's the only thing I can really comment on this show and have a little bit of say. It's true.
Don't need that in my life. Mix in a pizza, play 160 games. You can't pull fat, right, Kip?
See, I don't come here to get bullied. What is going on today?
Well, Brendan, it was awesome talking to you, man. Hope you had a good time. Enjoy the rest of the offseason. Tell Jordan Walker we said what's up, by the way. And we'll see you in spring training, all right, man? We'll see you in sunny Jupiter.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. We'll see you soon.
Cheers. Thanks, Brendan.